Hello, in this segment I'm answering a question posted on the International Studies 101 course Canvas page. The question has to do with a particular reading in your textbook, and the reading is titled The Nation as Novelty, written by the historian Eric Hobsbawm. And here's the question. On page 166, Hobsbawm says, quote, "After 1880, it mattered how ordinary men and women felt about nationality," unquote. My question is, why is 1880 a turning point for this? Eric Hobsbawm is a very famous and influential historian known for his works on nationalism. The reading from your textbook comes from his book, Nations and Nationalism, since 1780. To better answer your question, I dug deeper into the book to find you the key passages where he explains the significance of the year 1880. So first, on page 23, he writes, "Even had they wanted to, they being the liberal bourgeoisies and their intellectuals, they could not have avoided reflecting on the problem during the 50 years from 1830 to 1880, when the European balance of power was transformed by the emergence of two great powers based on the national principle, Germany and Italy. The effective partition of a third on the same grounds, Austria-Hungary, after the Compromise of 1867, not to mention the recognition of a number of lesser political entities as independent states claiming the new status as nationally based peoples, from Belgium in the west to the Ottoman successor states in Southeast Europe, Greece, Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, and two national revolts of the Poles demanding their reconstitution as what they thought of as a nation state." And in a book by yours truly, I have actually put down the dates of when these countries were created. This is because I've actually read Hobsbawm before, and this chapter of the book was deeply influenced by his work. Another interesting passage can be found on page 12 of the book, where Hobsbawm summarizes the work of Czech historian Miroslav Hiroch. Hiroch presents a three-stage development scheme of nationalism. And here is the quote. "In 19th century Europe, for which it was developed, phase A was purely cultural, literary, and folkloric, and had no particular political or even national implications. In phase B, we find a body of pioneers and militants of the national idea, and the beginnings of political campaigning for this idea. My own concern in this book is more with phase C, when and not before nationalist programs acquire mass support, or at least some of the mass support that nationalists always claim they represent." So there you have it. The 50-year period between 1830 and 1880 saw the creation of many European countries that we might think today have always existed. After 1880, there was no going back. All the nationalist programs will be cranked up to full volume. Each nation would devote itself to making its own national identity through language, culture, and ethnicity. So thank you for the thoughtful and excellent question. I look forward to answering more of your questions throughout this semester.